Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the party started. And the answer, of course, 2. My first question is 3. Loud, ground-shaking Spartan aroos. Spartans, what is your profession? Oh, no. We got over 300 people standing here, and right now. The last race of the weekend. We're going to kick it off a whole lot better than that. I'm going to try that again. I said, Spartans, what is your profession?
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about this thing that happened a few months ago. I participated for the first time ever in this marathon, or not really marathon, but race called the Spartan race. It's pretty intense, and I'm gonna break it down to you how things happened, why things happened, and how I felt before, during, and after the Spartan race. There was just a lot going on in my mind and physically throughout this event. It was pretty cool. I will say that I am actually considering doing the race again next year, but with that said, I'm going to go in harder and train more and more than I did this past year. So if you want to see, or you want to know what happened throughout the race, I will tell you. So the Spartan race was held in Kaneohe, Oahu, Hawaii. So it's basically where Jurassic Park was filmed and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. When you go to the event itself, it's quite a journey, but the view was just amazing. Like, if you enjoy natural scenery, on your way there you get a good view of the ocean as well as the mountains, the trees. It was amazing. So yeah, it's usually held there every year, and it was not what I expected, really. So when I went there, it was pretty informative, pretty crazy too. So when I got there, it was a lot of things going on. First of all, you get to see like the map. The Spartan race actually holds like a few different types of races. The one that I participated in was the sprint, and it was actually the easiest among the adult obstacle courses. It was like about 3.5 miles of trail and obstacles throughout. So it was really interesting. There's other races as well. I know there's like the beast mode, there's ultra, and then there's the trifecta, which is basically like all 3 of them, which takes up like the entire weekend, which I think is pretty crazy. But there are people who actually do it, and it's insane. Like, I give respect and props to all of those people who do that, because it's not easy, and I'm gonna tell you why. So when we're walking into the area where they hold all the races, they had booths for like well, different types of things like energy drinks or other things.
That's what I'm talking about. They've been taking care of our racers all weekend long with the VIP tent. Nice, cool place to hang out. The custom trail mix booth they had over there with papaya, mango, all types of coconut and seeds. I tell you what, if you haven't taken advantage of it, it's not too late.
And there was also like this tent called the Nulo tent, which had like doggy treats that were healthy for your four-legged friends who also want to be as active as you. But when we were walking, I was like, wow, this is insane, because not only was there 4 different types of races for us adults, but there was also like a miniature obstacle course for kids. And I think I should have taken that one, because it was still pretty brutal watching them do it, because it was a lot. Trust me when I say that. So the struggles that I had during this Spartan race started literally from the beginning. I didn't really think of it that much. I thought it was mostly running, and like there are about maybe 20 obstacles through the sprint race. So they had us all gather around at the starting line, and there was like boards that kind of were like our first obstacles where we had to like jump over them. So before that, this guy was like giving us very motivational speeches and telling us that we are Spartans.
Today you embark upon a quest like those of legends old, facing unimaginable challenges and pushing yourselves further than you ever thought possible. To prepare for this challenge, I would ask you all one simple question. Who am I? To which you shall respond, I am a Spartan. Who am I? I am a Spartan. Honored by your courage and commitment to excellence, know this. Today your mind, body, and spirit will be put to the ultimate test. For you chase glory on this day. Who am I? Look to the Spartans to your right. And to the Spartans to your left. Big high five to those Spartans around you. Wonderful. By all that you hold good on this dear earth, I bid you stand. Sons, daughters of Sparta, stand and fight. For today is the day that you shall rise to glory. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right here, right now. Hawaii, your home. Who am I? Who am I? Let's hear it. Who am I? Aru, aru, aru. Let's go.
She's coming, Lucy. She's coming. Just wait. Get going, Bridget!
And we will do this, and we will get through so much, like physical, mental, emotional things that are gonna challenge you throughout these races. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty inspiring. Really inspiring. Like, I wasn't like brushing that off. I agree with that. And even more so after the race. And then we actually started the race by going over that big board. And that board was like up to my neck, I would say, or maybe even like higher up. I am 4'10" for reference, so it was like maybe 4.5 feet, and I was struggling. Like, I couldn't even get over that, and I thought I was working out hard, but apparently it wasn't hard enough, which is really sad. So anyways, I tried to jump over, but I couldn't. There was actually this nice older guy who came up and like he put his knee down and he was like, get up, we're gonna help each other. And that's exactly one of the key things about the Spartan race that was amazing. Like, you could go there like not feeling like you're a burden or anything. People are willing to help you throughout this race, which was insane. And I am super thankful that people like that existed in this race and was with me, because I swear there was so much things that I couldn't do by myself, and I just needed that support. I needed the help. And yeah, so going into this, I didn't have as much physical or strength training, anything. I wasn't as fit as I thought I was, which was really sad because I thought I was doing pretty good with working out, and I thought to myself, hey, if I can run 3 miles, I can do this race easy. No, I couldn't. So we had to like jump over a few of those hurdles. We had to climb, we had to pull things, we had to carry things, we had to, oh my gosh, it was like crazy. There was a few that actually there was basically barely any obstacles that I did on my own. And normally when you're going through obstacles, if you're not able to like at all do the obstacle for whatever reason, there is like a burpee station, so that's where you would do your workouts to make up for that.
She got into the rings.
And trust me, I've been doing that a lot. I was doing it so much, so that was really sad. But there were a few that I was doing either by myself or with the help of other people. So a few of them would be, there's this one where we had to like lift a 50-pound ball. It was crazy. So that one I had to get assisted with lifting it, because I guess my legs are just not as good as I thought they were. So that happened. There was also barbed wires that we had to crawl under. That obviously I could do. That was probably the only one that I could do. I did jump over one hurdle by myself because of the adrenaline, but other than that, no. And then we had to carry this sack. I think that one was also 50 pounds, and we had to go like crisscross, like up and down this little hill. And I was doing it by myself, but I had to like stop and like sit down and just like think, oh my god, why did I do this again? And stuff like that. But yeah, that one was really fun. There was also one where we had to like pull like this. I think that one was also 50 pounds. A lot of these things are 50 pounds. So I was pulling 50-pound sandbags, but I couldn't because I just couldn't like pull it down for some reason. So 2 guys actually helped me do that, which was pretty cool. Because yeah, like I said, it's really great that the atmosphere and the people there are like awesome. So that happened. After that, I actually experienced one of the most legit panic attacks that I've had ever in my life. Like, I was crying and breathing hard out of fear, like pure fear. I don't really like heights as much, so there was these 2 obstacles I remember vividly. One was like a teepee shape, and then when you're crawling up here, it's like a net. So you're crawling and trying to climb up the little pyramid thing, and it was pretty tall. Like, I'm pretty sure it's taller than like your average house, or maybe I'm over exaggerating. It was high. It was really high, and in my head I was trying to climb. I was like, I can do this, I can do this, but I barely made it like 5 feet off the ground, and I was shaking. My body froze. I was looking down and I was thinking to myself, oh my god, I am going to die doing this obstacle. And as over exaggerating as that sounded, I was purely terrified. I was on a net and people were like shifting. People were climbing up really fast, which made the net shake. So I was like, holy shit, what if I lose my footing? Or what if I like fall while I'm trying to climb? What if I misplace something and I fall through the hole? That's how scared I was. So I was like starting to cry, and I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And that one of the workers that was underneath the little triangle thing, he was like yelling up at me. He was like, hey, no worries, you got this. Just keep on going. You can do this. I believe in you. This is one of the things that you're like trying to go through as a Spartan. You get through your fears. And I was like, no, I cannot. I can't. I'm gonna go down and I am just gonna do burpees or whatever. But for this specific obstacle, there was a no burpee station. So that means that you had to do it. You had to do that obstacle whether you liked it or not, and I swear I did not like it. I am terribly afraid of heights, and I was crying my eyes out. So then I remember there was like 3 to 5 people, if not more, that were like passing through me saying, hey, it's okay, you can do this, no worries, just keep on going, you won't fall through. And if anything, if you do fall, your foot would get caught in the net, so you won't like die, you won't fall through, like collapse and have a fatal accident. And I was like, no. I was terrified. I was just freaking out. But there was this like maybe like a few people. And I remember there's one guy and that's just like going with me, going at my speed, making sure that I made it over the top. And then getting down was like kind of easier because you're going down. The faster you get down, the faster this thing is over. So I was like, you know what? I gotta stop being a baby. I gotta grow up. I gotta be better. So that's what I did. It was super slow. I was still crying. I was still breathing hard. But slowly, literally slowly, but surely, with a lot of caution and a lot of motivation, I made it through. And I was crying. I'm not gonna lie, I am a huge scaredy cat. But when I made it through, doesn't matter how long it took me. It doesn't matter like my state of mind. I got through it. And that was pretty amazing. And it kind of like gave me a little bit more of a push to go through the rest of the race. So that's what happened. But one of the last obstacles was a tower much higher than that little thing. So it was actually like a shaped like this. So you have to climb up here and then you have to walk through something, which is funny because this is actually the entranceway to the Spartan race, which blew my mind when I got there. But you know what, it was later on. So this was pretty scary because I thought this was this part right here, the top portion of this obstacle, was like planks of wood. That's it. But no, it was strips of wood that we had to walk over. So the tiniest sight of seeing the bottom, the ground, from that height, which was super duper high, that I believe I could say it's higher than your average one-story house. Like that's way higher. I was freaking out because like climbing up there, I did it. No worries because it was wood. It wasn't a net. So I had more stability while I was climbing up. But when I got to the top, I looked at it and it was just planks of wood just going straight. And I was like, oh hell no. This is too much. I looked down and I freaked myself out. So I was crying again. I was crying like a little baby and I was like, oh my god, I am going to die. I am like the biggest overthinker and I freak myself out too much than I really should. So when we're doing that, there was people again who were helping me. I was like, first of all, I'm sorry for being a baby. I'm sorry for being like such a scaredy cat in a wuss. Those were the thoughts that were like going into my head and it was clouding my mind of getting through the obstacle. I was just like, oh my god, I'm a burden. Oh my god, this isn't scary. Oh my god, I'm crying in front of all these strangers and they're helping me. And so I was just, oh my gosh, this is insane. I can't believe it. But the people that participate in these races are not only competitive, but they're also very caring and they make sure and look out for one another. And that's just one of the most remarkable things that I've learned through this event, which is why I'm not as hesitant to try again next year. But I will be training a lot harder. And if you guys want, I can actually maybe vlog or maybe post workout videos of how I prepare for this upcoming race. So if you guys want, comment down below if you guys want to see that, because I'm not going through any personal trainers, but I'm going to be doing this like kind of on my own. Hopefully with this new pace that I'm trying to set for myself, I will probably do better next time for sure. So yeah, after the event, after the entire race, I made it through, and there was this little finish line. But before you get to the finish line, there was this line of fire that you had to jump over. When I did jump over it, it wasn't as climactic as I hoped it would be. I ran and then the thoughts like hit my mind, like, what if my foot catches on fire? Like, the fire was literally dying, but I was still afraid that I would have jumped and landed in the fire for some strange reason. So I just waited. I ran, but then I stopped and I was like, wait a second, hold up. And then I walked back and I was just like, leap. Not a triumphant jump, but it was like a little hop. You know what I mean? It was pretty sad. But that was the end and I made it through. I was so like pushed. Although I was a big baby crying throughout, and I was like complaining that I was like sore or like this was too hard, I made it. And even though I wasn't the best sport, I guess, I felt kind of good that I've accomplished something in my life. This was a really intense race, let me tell you. Like, my time for this I think was maybe 2.5 hours. I feel like a big chunk of that was just like looking at each obstacle and thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. But there was people who would help me. There was people who would support me. There were people who would literally be there for me throughout this race, which I thought was, like I said, amazing. And I actually wasn't able to get people's names or any social media that I can connect with them through, but if you're watching this and you kind of recognize the story that I just told, I just want to say that I appreciate you. I remember there was this girl that was from Australia who was helping me, and she was running with me in the beginning of the race. But then I felt like a burden and I told her, hey, you know what? Go ahead of me. Don't wait for me all this time. It's not worth it. Just go on ahead of me. And she was doing the trifecta. So this race was the last of her obstacle courses that she had to do throughout this entire weekend. I didn't want to like have her wait on me and everything. And there was this other guy who was like I said earlier, was helping me through that mental breakdown that I was having. He was talking to me and just making sure that I was okay, and he was like, you can do this, I believe in you, blah blah blah. And I was just like amazed that people like that exist. And I thought it was just all competitive, all like people were just trying to beat one another. But no, that's not like the full atmosphere, the full feeling of being in this Spartan race. It was more than that, and you literally like feel the change in your body after that. After the race, we were really congratulated as kings and queens. When we got there, we got these shirts, which is pretty cool. So it has the Spartan race over here, Spartan, because now we are Spartans. And then it shows the race that we did, the race that we accomplished, and it's just amazing. It's a really nice fabric as well, so I can just wear these to the gym. And so we got this. We were given snacks, which was great. We were also given these drinks called Life Aid, which is not energy drinks, but it's like kind of drinks that will help you recuperate. So I drank that, and they also gave us beer, which is pretty crazy, but I guess they're one of the sponsors for the Spartan race. So they gave us beer, and I was just like, give it to me, and I was just drinking. And then after that, nice ride home, lots of traffic getting out of Kaneohe, but it was okay because I got to rest, I got to lay down and just like take a breather and just talk about my race. I just want to make a little disclaimer that I wasn't doing this on my own at all. I had help. I had someone who was with me throughout the entire race, and not only was he there, but Lucy was there too. You saw her in a little snippet of my previous video. She is an amazing dog, and she was going throughout the Spartan race with me, going through the sprint, and not only was she helping me, but she was an emotional support animal throughout the race for other participants as well. Like there were people who were running and be like, oh my god, it's a cute dog, and it kind of just like lightened up their mood. And there was, I swear there was a couple people like, if this dog can do the Spartan race, I can too. They weren't wrong. She was running, she was trotting with us throughout the 3.5 miles, and she was really there. And like whenever I saw her little face, I was just like, I can do this, I can do this, I will do this for you, Lucy. That was my experience with the Spartan race, the sprint. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this race again next year. I actually might be doing a different one actually next year, which is a lot more than what I did in the sprint. So I am kind of interested, like I'm kind of curious on how I'm gonna be able to handle that. But like I said before, I'm taking my workouts a bit more seriously than I was like last year. I want to try and lift 50 pounds and like carry it. It's more than I anticipated it. I am truly humbled by this experience. The Spartan race is definitely marked in my books of this year's accomplishments and this year's like hugest obstacles, literally, that I had to do. If you guys watched through this entire thing, talking about my meltdown, talking about all the things that I was going throughout this Spartan race, leave a like. If you have any questions about it, just comment down below, and then I'll like try to answer it to the best of my ability. These Spartan races actually aren't only in Hawaii, they're all over the place. I'm sure there's a few in different states in the US. It might be around the world as well. I was looking on Instagram and there was a lot of Spartan race accounts. Maybe one day, one of these days, we might go there and go to maybe a different state to do the Spartan race, or to a different country to do Spartan race. It's all in the cards. I have no idea what life is gonna take me. It's something that I highly encourage people to do. Challenge yourself, motivate yourself, face your fears. Literally face your fears. It's amazing. It's something that I look back on and I'm pretty proud. I'm not saying that I'm not afraid of heights anymore. Trust me, a girl is like terrified, but it's another challenge that I gotta face, and I just gotta keep on facing it until I get over the fear, which would be pretty awesome if I could. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. We have our miniature Spartan.
Damn, I can't have carried you. You got this.